Hey guys, it's Magic Playable here. This is my other video segment. I told you I'd play make one of these when in my last new format GB list, warning my card choices and why I run these. First, I want to talk about T-King. I only run 2 in the main, 1 on the board. There are too many tutor effects to not run T-King. I don't run Prismas because that's just my personal play style. I tested a lot with the Prisma version, and I don't find it to be suboptimal. I just find it, not something I'd like. I'd much rather have T-King in the deck more than 85 to 90% of the times. Like, it was fun blowing up a bunch of cards, but running in the main deck Starlight Roads, even sided Starlight Roads, sucks. Even with Trap Sun sometimes, because 7 tools is still played. Running into, against decks, Pottery Valley runs rampant. It's really good against GKs. That's, I believe, is going to be one of the best decks in the format. It's really good against Symphonities, which will be one of the most played decks in the format as well. It's, Light Hero Beatdown. It can trade with their dudes. Against Sams, they can't tutor with all their effects. They still have a billion tutor effects, and this card negates all, it stops all of them. Also, if they do manage to go into Xian somehow, you can just negate it and, get a turn. So, I think T-King, in my opinion, I like it more than I'd rather run T-Kings over Prismaglads. Test Tiger, you might be running, well, if you're running T-Kings while you're running Test Tigers, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, I think in this new version, with Forbidden Lance in the format, Test Tiger warrants the inclusion. Also, it allows you to give that little push that you can do last format, because, I just think Test Tiger is really good in this format right now. And I really like it right now. So, I'm running Prisma, List, Test Tiger, Glad. So, it's just Test Tiger. It's just like Gladiator Beast without Prismas. I don't know. I like Test Tigers right now. Because you can do some stupid plays and blow a lot of people out. Secutor. If you're going to run Test Tiger, you might as well run Secutor. Tagging the Secutor into an open field and attacking, it makes instant Herc and allows you to make dumb plays. Just have Herc in play. That's a dumb play on its own. And this guy does that. I could talk for days about this card. I love Spirit Reaper. A lot of people have told me to run Effect Veiler over Spirit Reaper, but there's no reason to, in my opinion. I've seen a lot of Japanese lists run Spirit Reaper, and I feel like it's really the way you want to go, because it's really you gotta list the big players in the format. There's 6 Sams and Infernities and Sabers who all want to try to OTK you or gain control and beat you as best they can, and running into a Spirit Reaper is just so heartbreaking. And Fish OTK, running into Spirit Reaper is so heartbreaking for them. Also, I got into a talk with my friend, and he said, well, they can just target and kill Spirit Reaper. A lot of people are replacing books with Forbidden Lance, or they're replacing books with enemy controllers. Sure, you can do that, but I'd rather you kill my Spirit Reaper than kill one of my Glads. You know what I'm saying? Or he was also saying Brionic's gonna be one of the most played synchros next format. But sure, you can if you're gonna brio my Spirit Reaper, you can brio any of my dudes and still go to town on me. So I'd rather just have the Spirit Reaper. And also one of the problems this deck faces is that most of the times your opponent has bigger dudes than you, and you can't deal with that. Forbidden Lance helps a lot with that, but sometimes you just can't deal with it. A lot of times having Spirit Reaper allows you to stall the game out long enough to do that. If my opponent got Heinlein in play against me, blew up some of my back row, I would rather have Spirit Reaper in play in defense mode than Effect Veiler, because I just discard Effect Veiler, negate the effect, and sure, I get my back row. That's fine, but then I got to deal with a 2300 beat stick that if you guys don't know, I don't think there's nothing in my entire deck that has over 22,000 attack. They closest thing is Thunder King. So Spirit Reaper is really good at that. I just love this card too much to cut it. Forbidden Lance. This is one of the reasons why I think Test Tiger is playable. This card is a godsend for GBs, in my opinion. It was made for this deck. You can play it in the damage step because it changes the attack of a monster, and it also makes them unaffected by spells or traps. So if you do go into Gyzarus and they change Starlight Road, you just chain Forbidden Lance, and it's thanks. There's my other +1 on you. If they go Bottomless on your guy, you chain Forbidden Lance. If they attack into your guy, a smaller guy, and you Forbidden Lance it, you get your tag off. Forbidden Lance is just such a good card in GBs. It was made for this deck, I swear. You guys might be wondering why Truenade's in this list of card choices. Well, the original list I had cut Trunade for Trap Stun, or my friend gave me that list, and you know, like I think Trunade needs to warn this deck, especially the version I'm running. You know, I've seen lists that don't even run Trunade anymore because Trap Stun into Gyzarus is Prismaglads, you know, but I'm not running Prismaglads. I'm just running like Gladiator Beast. But so I think Trunade warrants an inclusion. Also allows you to make some stupid plays like safely get off some of your Glads, you know, or safely go into Secutor. That's one of the big things. You also might be wondering why War Chariot's in here. I've just seen a lot of people cutting a War Chariot. In this next format, I do not believe that's the right call. I mean, you got to think of the big players that are being played. There's going to be Infernities. There's going to be Sabers. There's going to be Six Sams. There's going to be, like, what else? Like, Fish OTK. You know, there's going to be GKs. And this card just rapes all of them. It just beats all of them. There's going to be even mirror matches. Like, in the mirror match, I'm pretty sure the winner of that goes to who controls Chariots. Because Chariot just, like, wrecks it. You know? It like blows the mirror match. Like it's just another card they have to play around, and so I think having 3 is just too good to not run. Sure, like it's not as good against Light Hero Beatdown, but like that matchup's not very good in the first place. There's not much you can really do about that. One Trap Stun. I only run one, guys. You know, I don't know. I like to be more like I think that Trap Stun's a very proactive card. It'll save you in tight spots, but other times like I don't like having it off the top. So, you know, that's my reason to just run one. And, yeah. Compulse. A lot, like, you can say cut Compulse for Trap Stun. I mean, that could be your thing. I like having the extra added removal. It's really good against, like, all the decks. Like, when they go in, like, the Heinley and you just chain Compulse. Like, that's almost a big blowout as well. Like, when they go into, like, Xian and they attack and you de-prison and they negate and you chain Compulse. That's another big blowout, you know, like, it just gets their big guys off the board. It gets their guys off the board to, like, allow you to push through damage and tag. And it just, like, it helps just win you matches a lot of times. Like, you can cut it for a Trap Stun if you like. I really like the one of Compulse. And Mind Crush. You guys got to realize, Pot Duality is still played. Gold Sark's at 3 now. That's probably going to be played a lot as well. There's Smoke Signals, there's Rotas, there's Stratos in the format. There's Gateway is in the format. Dark Soul triggers are in the format. You know, like Dark Soul happens, and you just Mind Crush their card away, and you just like it's such a blowout sometimes. A lot of times, you know, like it helps you push so many games in your favor. This is my 41st card, and you can yell like call me a terrible player for running 41, but I really can warrant the inclusion of this card, and it saved me so many times against so many decks. And as much as you guys hate to say, like Blackwings are going to be played probably still, and you know this card helps blow out with Whirlwind. So guys, it's like all the like odd inclusions in the deck in this next format. If you have any questions, PM me. I'm not saying that Prismaglads is the suboptimal list. I just like to play a more controlling list with Gladiator Beast. In my opinion, Thunder King's just too good to not run. If you can find a way to fit 2 into the deck and still have it remain consistent, go ahead and PM me a list because I'd like to see it. I would really like to see it. I've been trying and like I just find it really hard to. This list is 41 cards already as it is, and you know I'm sure there's some cuts here or there you can make to add Prismas and stuff, but I can warrant inclusions to those decks, and I'm going to test a lot more. Like I said, this isn't just like a big bash on Prisma. I actually tested a lot with that deck, and I really do enjoy going into Gyzarus. Like that's probably one of the funnest decks I've ever played. Is just like spamming Gyzarus, and I just think in this next format, you know, running Gyzarus out there is really good, but like is not as good as I would. I just rather have T King in play. You know, I'd just rather have Thunder King. And with Thunder King in play, like the GB mirror match, they can't even go into Gyzarus to deal with it. So that's, you know, half the battle right there. So yeah, guys, if you have any comments or questions, or if you watch my other video and you wonder why certain cards are still in there, give me a comment or PM me and I'll explain to you some of it or my reasonings. I'll probably post more videos. So rate, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching, guys.